Okay, this is Lab 9, Managing Hardware and Printers. And we are working our way through supporting Windows 8.1 Lab Manual, part of the Microsoft Official Academic Course in preparation for exam 70-688. In this next series of videos, we'll be looking at working with a device manager, rolling back a device driver, managing print servers and printers, using the reliability monitor, using task manager, using resource monitor, and using the performance monitor. So we're going to get started with exercise 9.1, working with a device manager. In this exercise, we're going to update device drivers with device manager. Device Manager gives you a graphical tool to manage devices and device drivers. The approximate time for this is about 30 minutes. Now, I've already logged into RWDC as Contoso Administrator. I've also already logged into Windows 8A as Contoso Administrator. So let's get started by going into our Device Manager on Windows 8A. So here I'm going to right-click and select Device Manager. We want to expand ports, and we have our communication port 1 and communication port 2. We want to right-click communication port 2 and choose Disable. And we're going to go ahead and click on Yes. And that takes us to our first question. Which icon represents a disabled device? Now we're going to go ahead and right-click that driver again. And now we're going to enable. Now we're going to right-click and go into Properties. Oops, wrong one. On the General tab, what is the status of the device? We're going to click on the Resources tab. What IRQ and I/O port range is COM2 currently using? So now we're going to go ahead and click on OK. And now we're going to expand the floppy disk drive controllers. And right-click and go into Properties. On the General tab, what is the status of the device? We're going to go back to our Resources tab. Which IRQ, DMA, and I/O port does the standard floppy disk controller use? Now we're going to click to deselect the Use Automatic Settings. Now this exercise is for demonstration purposes only. Today it would be extremely rare that we would ever have to manually configure these settings. We're going to change the settings board to Basic Configuration 0002. We're going to double click on the IRQ and change the value from 6 to 5. And then click on OK. We're going to click on OK again. And when we're prompted to confirm that we want to continue, we're going to click on Yes. And do we want to restart? We're going to click on No. Which icon does the standard floppy disk controller now have? Okay, and now we're going to double click it and then click the Resources tab again. Set configuration manually, and then click to use the automatic settings, and then OK, and then yes. And we're going to log back in as Contoso administrator. Okay, we're going to go back to our device manager. And now we're going to right click Windows 8A and scan for hardware changes. And we're going to, this time we're going to go back to our ports for communication port. And we are going to right click Communication COM or COM2 and select Update Driver Software. On the How do you want to search for driver software, we're going to click on Search Automatically for Updated Driver Software. Which driver was located and what information was provided about the driver. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on Close. And now we're going to right click Communications Port again, and this time go into Properties. And we're going to click on the Driver tab. Which driver version is being used by the Communication Port 2? We're going to click on Update Driver. And this time we're going to browse my computer for driver software. Then we're going to do, let me pick from a list. We want to deselect the show compatible hardware. This is for demonstration purposes only. Normally you'd want to use drivers that are only compatible. We're going to go down to Trimble. And then select Trimble PCM CIA GPS Adapter Revision B. And then Next, and then Yes. If you are following along in your lab manual, you're required to do so. This would be where you would take your next print screen. We're then going to click on Close. This is the end of this exercise and the end of this video. The next video will look at rolling back a device driver.